So let's go ahead and begin. All right. College Greenlight, the perfect fit. We are here today to talk about finding the right colleges that are good for you. So to start us off, my name is Erica and I'm from the College Greenlight team, and I'm here to talk to you all about finding your perfect fit college. We will spend some time diving into like some of the basic building blocks of assessing a accessing ass- access, assessing college fit and match. And then we'll talk about how our site on CapX can help support you in, finding those best fit colleges and building that balanced college list. So I am Erica. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I graduated from Northern Illinois in the class of fall 2016. I majored in communications and double minored in art and philosophy. And some of my hobbies include binge watching my favorite TV shows, drawing, DIY projects, and fighting against systemic racism, which is a good time always. I hope to get to know you all. Feel free to use the chat to share who's in the room, and I'll definitely love to know. So here at College Greenlight and at CapX, we want to make sure that you all are attending universities that match your academic, social, and financial needs, because we know that this will ensure you will persist through college and end up obtaining that college degree. The new capex.com site is a partnership between College Greenlight and CapX. So we've combined our efforts into one, and now we're one big website providing you enhanced profiles and more features in order to help you be successful in your college and scholarship searching efforts. So some of the questions that we answer is, how well does the school fit in with what I'm looking for in a college? What are my chances of admissions at this college? What will it cost me to go to this college? And then which scholarship should I apply for in order to close that financial gap and make sure that I am able to stay in school? So those are all the questions that we answer on the CapX website. Throughout your search, as you can see in these screen grabs, we're able to provide you insight based off of your individual activity on the site that is tailored to your needs and speaks to who you are as a student. So we'll get into how you can get started on CapX later on in the presentation. But as I mentioned, I want to start us off with like some basic building blocks on understanding what it means to find that best fit or that perfect college for you. So by the end of this presentation, you will be able to build an informed college list based off of your needs and your wants, learn best practices on how to feel comfortable and confident while searching and applying for college, and have a better understanding of how College Greenlight and CapX can support you. Now, before we do get started, I do have a quick little icebreaker just to get, the minds going. I'm gonna launch a poll onto the screen, and I'd like for you all to take a few seconds to reflect on the questions that I have presented. So, am I excited for college? I know what I want to major in. I know what school I want to go to. And regardless, I'm going to make it work and achieve everything I want and deserve. So the instructions is I'm going to launch this poll, and you're going to select whether you agree, strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree with that statement. Poll launching now. So let me know. Are you excited for college? Do you know what school you want to go to? Do you know what you want to major in? And despite your answers for those questions, are you going to achieve everything you want and you deserve? I'm gonna give you all 30 more seconds. There's 30 seconds on the clock, actually. And this is anonymous, so you don't have to worry about like people seeing what your answers are. We have another poll at the end of the presentation that will also be anonymous. All right, we got just a few more. Almost done. 15 seconds. All right, I guess we'll go ahead and call it here. We got about half of you all responding. So I believe I can share results. All right, so you're able to see on your screen, I believe, the results of this poll. So it seems as a whole, we agree that we're excited for college. For the most part, we know what school we want to go to, but it's okay if you don't. There's still a lot of time. I see we have a middle of the road for knowing what you want to major in. And of course, I'm sure that you've gotten this message in many forms and formats, but as you probably know, it's okay if you don't know, as long as you are continuing to engage in that conversation with yourself. And then, yes, I love to see it. For the last question, we are all going to make it work regardless of how complicated or difficult the process may be. It's going to be it's going to be all right because y'all going to get y'all degrees. All right, thank you for this reflection. Let's go ahead and move on into the presentation. So, college match and fit. CapX's college search tools will allow you to cut through all of the information that is available on the internet and see like the information that's most relevant and important to you right now, which is, does this school suit my preferences, which is college fit? And is there a good chance I will get in, which is college match? So college fit, the way you can think about it is fit is about you. Fit is about how you are going to fit into a community, fit into that academic space. And it's like, is this what I want? Is this what's best for me? And then match is about matching what like who you are and what you're capable of and what you're like what you want with the academic profile and the social profile and the financial profile of that college. So does what I want match what the college can offer me? And we're going to go through just a few of those categories, which I'm sure you all have had this conversation in some form or fashion, but it's always nice to review, to think about what are some of those profile points that you can look at in order to assess, fit and match for yourself. So types of schools, public school versus private school. Are you looking for like a public school education where there's maybe a lot of students? There are like diverse academic programs. There's, you can find liberal arts, you can find STEM. There's a variety of things that are available for you. Also, a public school tends to bring in like geographically diverse students. So you might meet students from all different parts of the state that you're from, which can be really exciting. I attended a public school and I assumed that everybody who was going to my public school was from Chicago, but that was not the case. There are so many other towns and cities and different people that live in Illinois that I met at NIU, and that public school experience was able to give me that. But at a private institution, those are often maybe a little bit smaller, smaller class sizes, mostly have like maybe most private schools I would say have like a liberal arts focus. Private schools versus public schools might offer a like international diverse group of students. So you might meet people from different parts of the world, people who are exchange students or they're there on a student visa. So there's a variety of people that you can meet at a private institution. Something to note about public institutions versus private institutions is that public schools are often state funded. So if you're attending a school in your area, let's say a public school in Georgia, then you'll be paying in-state tuition, meaning you will have like a typically a little bit of a lower cost to attend a school because you have the option of earning in-state aid and grants that can help lower the cost of public school. And at a private institution, those are often they're funded by the institution. They're nonprofit. They have donors. They have dowries, and so they earn money through the students and through alumni. So they typically be a little bit more expensive because it's not government. Um, they don't receive government assistance, but there are benefits to a private school education, of course. You might have noticed that I used some like that big publics versus liberal arts. Like sometimes these four things can like go in one bucket. Private liberal arts, public, big schools. Those things can sometimes be interchangeable, but you can find a big private school and you can attend a small public school. It's really just about learning about what's out there and seeing what your options are and seeing what is an environment that would work best for you. Other types of schools that are a little bit more specialized for specific students, HBCUs, which stands for historically black colleges and universities. Those are amazing, educational opportunities for students of color or any other student. Any student can be admitted to an HBCU that would like to receive like, a diverse education during their 4 years, during their 4 years in college. So definitely check those out. Women colleges. So there are colleges. There's also, I didn't put it, but men's colleges as well. So if you want to have a, single sex school experience, that could be, there are definitely colleges out there for you. And then also community colleges, which, we can also put into the bucket, tech schools and things like that. If you're looking for a more specialized education, like what you want to do and you can get an associate's in it, that is definitely a path that you should definitely consider. All right. So we talked about size a little bit. So there are also like, other pieces of discovery, of learning about types of schools that could be a good fit for you. So do you want to attend a school that has more than 15,000 students, something in the mid-size range, or are you looking to be at a small campus? You can even, assess how you feel in high school. Like for example, I went to a very small high school, so I wanted to go to a large university so that I can get that large school experience. But let's say you also went to a small high school and you really liked the intimate setting and the ability to have one-on-one conversations with your teachers. Maybe a small college will still be a good fit for you. Also, you can, thinking about location, where do you want to be? What is going to be a good place for you to, feel good in, a place that you can call home? So do you want to be in a major city, so just like smack dab in the middle of Atlanta, or are you trying to be like in Los Angeles or New York? Do you want to be in a smaller city? An example, Savannah is like a little smaller city. A suburb or a town. So those could be schools that may have like this, a lot of land, and you find yourself like the campus is almost the town. I attended a college town college, so this campus of NIU often bled into the culture of the community as well. So that's what you might find at a suburb or a town located school. And then also you want to think about how far away do you want to be from home? Do you want to be close to home? Is it important for you to still be able to visit family or help out family? Are you looking to be able to stay at home and commute to school? Are you okay with being a little bit further away, but you still want to stay, within like maybe 3 hours or a 5 hour drive? So an in-state option might be what you're looking for. Or are you trying to get up out of here and you just want to go to the school of your dreams and you want to, start that adult life now and, attend that school in Alaska or Texas or somewhere else? Those are things you want to think about, because your environment is also plays a huge role in whether or not this school will be a good, fit for you. You want to make sure that you feel comfortable and that it's something that will make you happy. And then some other things to think about are, is the major that you're interested in even offered at this school? Do they have a variety of academic programs that you can explore as you are, maybe you're on the undecided side and there's like maybe a few things that you're interested in, so you want to try them out a little bit. Does that school offer those variety of courses that you can, try out? Do they have clubs that interest you? Maybe you played chess in high school, so you want to be able to continue playing chess in college, or excuse me, or ROTC, or picking up intramural sport. What is the campus life like? Are there different events happening on the quad, or are they engaging with me on a virtual level now that we're moving into this virtual space? So there's a lot of things to think about on how you can keep yourself engaged on campus, whether that's virtually or in person, that is a good fit for you. And then also, do they have student support systems that speak to me? I am a Black student. Do they have a Black student center? Do they have academic support systems for tutoring or mentorship? Are there, is there a career service, office? How accessible is my academic advisor? Those are questions that you also definitely want to ask, because the transition from high school to college is can be difficult, but can also be made easy if you know where to go to ask for help. And you know yourself best. You know who you are as a student. You know what supports you need, because you are experienced and you are the expert of you. Um, so make sure that the things that you need in order to be a successful student is available at the school that you want to go to. These are all things you want to think about when you think about fit. Is this a good fit for me? So when you are thinking about fit, now it's time to start building that college list. You want to start with, like, all right, what do I want? Let me start, writing those colleges down or adding those to my list on my college, on my CapEx account. So here's like my suggestion. Start with 5 schools and identify one reach school, 2 target schools, and 1 likely school. Now, what do those things mean? So a reach school is a school that may be that is a like a good fit. Like you fit everything right to the T. So maybe they and also have like good match. So let's say that the average ACT score is a 30 and you got a 30. Let's say that they have an average GPA of a 3.0 and you have that 3.0. So like you are just there. You are just the right fit for that school. But there could be but because of the competition level of getting admitted to a school, you might have to put like, do that extra essay just to put you a little bit ahead of the pack. Or maybe you want to gather some recommendations, so that, to boost that college application package that you'll be sending. That's what you'll consider a reach school, a school that like maybe just a little bit out of your reach, but with a lot of hard work, you definitely can make it. A target school is a school that you're right above average. You have a great chance of getting into that school. But just because it's a target school does not mean we still don't want to work hard on those applications. So a target school is a school not only that you are right above their average, but you also are you still have to put in some work in order to make sure that your application stands out. So I always suggest having 2 targets, because those are the schools that you want to like really bank on and really want to be like, you know what, I know I can get into these schools, so I'm not going to give them any reason to like not admit me. And then 1 likely school, which is a school that like you will likely get into. So you're maybe a maybe more than average, a bit above average at that school, and you have just a high likely chance of getting in. The school that I ended up attending in Illinois was my likely school. It was a school that, I didn't really have to do like the most on my college application, because I knew like I fit the criteria of what they were looking for in a student pretty well. And then one dealer's choice, just any school that you want to go to, regardless, add it to your list. Learn more about that college and see how they can fit onto your college list. So that's what I would suggest as a starting point, and continue to use this ratio to expand your list. So as you start with 5 and you're beginning to add 5 more, add one more reach school, 2 more target schools, one more likely school, and one more dealer's choice. Notes when getting started on building that college list is: one, you want to understand what that college is looking for in a student. So that's match what we talked about. Am I the student that they're looking for? Be realistic in that assessment. Like, do I think that I will be welcomed on this campus? Do I believe that this school, is really looking to foster a student like myself? Be realistic about those things. Also, be realistic in your own self reflection. Another piece is identify schools that can contribute to your strengths. This is not all about what college wants me. What college do you want? You have the final say in what school you end up at, and you should be just as 100% ready to go to that school as that school is ready to 100% admit you. So make sure that you're understanding, like, how can this school help me grow? How can this school contribute to my journey? Understand the college's financial aid abilities and your own financial circumstances. So you want to make sure that, this school will be able to support you financially, that you'll be able to, persist semester after semester. So learn about, like, the scholarship opportunities at that institution, and begin talking with your parents, and, working within yourself to figure out, like, okay, is this a school that if I attend it for 4 to 6 years, I'll be able to pay for every year? And then the last thing is be open-minded. There are a lot of colleges. I believe it's like 3,000 plus or something, probably more. And there are so many different opportunities. So be open-minded. Don't be afraid to explore new opportunities. Even if it's a school that you're gonna end up not applying to, go ahead and, like, if it interests you, and if you have like a immediate, like, response of, like, oh, that's interesting, or oh, that was a pretty picture, go ahead and indulge that exploration. You never know what you might learn at the end. So, CapEx. So, when you are on CapEx and you're beginning to, assess all these things we just talked about, we can really help you be able to find colleges that are a good fit for you. All you have to do is sign up and build a student profile. And from there, we'll be able to strategically help you create a best fit college list and be able to find scholarships that can help you close your financial gaps. You can see some screenshots of what the student profiles look like. You can think of your time on CapEx as a 24/7 virtual college fair, customized to you. So our college profiles and resources provide detailed and easy to use filters to allow you to find colleges that are best match for you. You can find, in those college profiles, you can learn about, admissions chances, tuition and costs, financial aid, scholarship opportunities, academics and majors, diversity, graduation rates. Anything that you can find on that college's website, you can find on CapEx. But instead, it's all in one place, and you'll be able to save your searches so that you can always review later on. I mentioned, you want to have a place as you're building that college list, whether that's writing it down or keeping track of it in a spreadsheet or something. So you can use College Greenlight to build your college list directly. I mean, excuse me, you can use CapEx to build your college list directly on the platform. So you can, it will automatically organize whether it's a reach school, target school, or likely school. You can keep track of your application process by, identifying, I've applied, I've been accepted, I've been denied, or, I was accepted but not attending. And then you can also just have quick access to the schools that you want to explore further. So add colleges on your list as you're exploring on the site, and then you can always go back to learn, to dive deeper into those different colleges. And so I mentioned how that college, how your profile really helps us be able to provide you with some, some insight on what could be a good fit for you. So you'll see, like, these little, boxes, my CapEx insight. You, in your student profile, you'll let us know what your preferences are, and we'll be able to give you an indication of how your preferences match the school. So for this school, you know, I had 5 different majors that I'm interested in, but it looks like the school only offers 2. You can see down here that this is what a bar looks like. The school's a good fit. You can see it has here, you know, about half of my preferences are met at this college. Also, you can see what your possible out-of-pocket costs may be based off of your family income. We have in your student profile where you can identify and, you know, your family income average, and we'll be able to show you like, all right, so it looks like based off your income, this might be what, you know, that possible out-of-pocket cost may be. You can use switch between in-state and out-of-state depending on the school that you're looking at, and then be able to get started now on planning on how you want to cover those costs. So I have on the screen right here a quick little QR code where you can go ahead and pull out your phone if you're not using Zoom on your phone to just go ahead and launch to that College Greenlight sign in portal on CapX. These are the instructions that you see right here. And as a reminder, this is being recorded and will be available to you. So I'm going to move on to the next slide in just a few. But if you aren't able to access this link right now, you'll definitely be able to get it post the presentation. All right, time check. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go through this piece really quickly. Again, this presentation will be available, but I did wanna be honest and have a moment for us to, you know, realize that you can't learn everything about a prospective college from online college profiles alone. So you might be asking yourself, then how am I supposed to know if this college is actually a good fit for me if college profiles don't tell me everything? And the answer simply is to ask questions. So I did curate a list of questions that you can ask as you are, exploring, colleges and whether or not it'll be a good fit for you. So these are questions to ask your admissions officer. Again, these questions will be available for you post our time. But one question that I would like to highlight real quick, I mean, all of these questions I feel like are very, appropriate questions. Don't be afraid to challenge your admissions officer. This is going to be your home away from home, so you should know as much as you can about this institution. And admissions officers want you to feel comfortable about saying yes to their school, so they will be happy to answer any of these questions for you. Questions that you can ask current students. So if you go on a college tour, you reach out to a student that you know is attending a school that you want to go to, these are some questions that you can ask them to get a student perspective on it. I love the question of how do you feel about how your school responded to COVID. It's very telling. The way that somebody responds to a crisis is very telling of how they may treat the people, may treat people. So you want to challenge, ask them these questions. You want to feel comfortable again at the school that you're going to be going to. And do you feel like your school is there for you? That's really important. You're going to be away from home. There are going to be, possible challenges that you may face, and you want to be able to feel like where you are is a safe space, a good environment to help, you feel good. And then just a few questions to ask yourself. So why do you want to go to college? What do you want out of your college experience? Um, and another question that you want to think about is and this is a question I always want to talk about with students, is that sometimes there are challenges that we may not know we're going to face until we're facing them. Example, I was a smart student in high school, but I wasn't really prepared for the rigor of college courses, and I was too prideful to go to the disability center and see if there was options for me to help alleviate the challenges that I was facing as a student. So you want to just anticipate, does the school have opportunities to support me in whatever things may come my way that I don't even know are going to be coming my way. So I do have another quick list tips and tricks to help you in, building your college list and embarking on this college application journey. The biggest thing that I want to, highlight is ask questions and communicate with your counselors and your trusted adults. Um, we've all been there. We've all seen some things. And what brings us here today is the just desire to help you not make, maybe some mistakes that we made, or maybe, like, for example, I'm a first generation college graduate. So I was the first in my family to graduate, the first in my community to graduate college, to even go to college. And so I was really in there by myself and did not know what I was doing. But I had adults that were around me that had gone through the process, that, they may not have been from my community, they may not have been my family, but they knew what I was going through because they had been in my shoes at one point, and they just were, providing those nuggets of wisdom to help me, persist and then graduate. So ask questions and communicate with the people that you trust, and plan to pay for college now, like today, yesterday. All right, so we're gonna skip this particular part and go ahead and go into Q&A. So let me go ahead and pull up the chat and see what we have here. Are there any questions that we have from the people in the room? Give you all some time. All right, well, if we don't have any questions right now, that's okay. I do have my contact information for you all, so that if you have any questions later on, I am here. You can reach out to me to ask those questions. So let me pull this back up. All right. So feel free to reach out to me at edavis@collegegreenlight.com.